like to call the meeting to order. Mrs. Burns, roll call.
Mr. Sullivan?
Present.
Mrs. Hallenbeck?
Present.
Mr. Allen?
Present.
Mrs. Brocious?
Here.
Mrs. Lafferty?
Here.
Mrs. Marshall?
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Here.
Mr. Sporny?
Here.
And Mrs. Waldweiser.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. The board met in executive session this evening prior to the meeting to discuss matters related to confidential student settlements, employment matters, and litigation. Mrs. Burns, any announcements?
No announcements.
Mr. Bowman, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Last night, our cast of a recent Neshaminy High School musical was honored at the Philadelphia Independence Awards held at Temple University. Congratulations to the cast of Spamalot, who took home awards for the best song, sung by the entire company, the best actor, Cameron Crouse, featured actor, Romeo Angelina, and best sound, Grace Valentine and Memphis Hansen. In addition, Cameron Crouse, who played King Arthur, won a nomination for the Jimmy Awards, a National High School Music Theater Award, which will give him the opportunity to perform at the Minskoff Theater on Broadway in New York City in June. So congratulations, Cameron and company. Last week, Maple Point held their annual Mother's Day Walkathon, always a great event that supports the Barkin Family Healing Hearts Foundation. The participating students got to meet some of the mothers that the foundation supports, along with the Eagles mascot Swoop, and a special visit by former World Series winning Phillies manager Charlie Manuel and his wife Missy, who very graciously attended to lend their support for this worthy cause and to pose for a lot of pictures. We thank them and Mike Barnes for the Healing Hearts Foundation for all the good work they do, and to our Maple Point PTO, staff and families for making this truly a special event and a great learning experience for our Maple Point students every year. Finally, 2 sports-related items for the high school. Congratulations to the girls' track and field team and the boys' baseball team for winning their respective Suburban 1 League Patriot Division championships. And congratulations to the 21 Neshaminy athletes who committed to continuing playing their sports at the collegiate level at our spring sports signing ceremony last week. That is always a tremendous event. And lastly, I would like to turn things over to Miss Michelle Burkholder to bring up our Teacher Recognition Awards this year.
Good evening. I'm excited to introduce the 2024 Neshaminy Teacher Recognition Awards. Neshaminy's Teacher Recognition Awards acknowledge the amazing work and impact of our teachers whose classroom and community contributions exemplify outstanding commitment to the profession, the district, and our community. Nominations for the 2024 Teacher Recognition Awards may be made by any staff member in our buildings in the 4 following categories: leadership, innovation, community partnership, and the spirit of Neshaminy. This year, we had a total of 20 nominations across the 10 buildings with 4 winners, 1 in each category. The winners will not only be recognized this evening, but they will also receive $1,500 for classroom materials, as well as have their name engraved on a plaque directly outside of the boardroom. And this evening, we will be moving forward with the recognition of all recipients. First, I would like to introduce Mrs. Kristen McCreary. Ms. Kristen McCreary is the assistant principal at Maple Point Middle School, and she's going to introduce our first recipient.
Hi, everybody. I am honored to introduce Melissa Negrati as our 2024, So Melissa is our 2024 Neshaminy School District Leadership Award winner. As an educator, she is dedicated to the advancement of educational practices and the empowerment of fellow teachers. Melissa exemplifies the qualities of an outstanding leader in our educational community. Throughout her tenure, Melissa has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to implementing and delivering multi-tiered systems of support strategies. She's not only integrated the strategies into her teaching and coaching practices, but she's also served as a beacon of guidance and mentorship for colleagues seeking to enhance their instructional approaches across all 3 of our Neshaminy middle schools. One of Melissa's most remarkable qualities is her adept utilization of data to help us drive instructional practices. By meticulously analyzing student performance data, she identifies areas of strength as well as areas of growth, tailoring instructional strategies to meet the diverse needs of our learners. Her data-informed approach not only fosters academic growth, but also cultivates a culture of continuous improvement within the various school communities in which she is engaged. Beyond her role as an academic coach, Melissa consistently goes above and beyond to provide comprehensive support to her fellow educators. She shares resources, she offers constructive feedback to both the administrative teams, and she facilitates professional development sessions, ensuring that all teachers have the tools and knowledge necessary to thrive in their roles. Her dedication to supporting colleagues in all educational aspects is truly commendable, and it reflects her commitment to fostering a collaborative and inclusive learning environment. In conclusion, Melissa is an exceptional educator whose leadership, dedication, and passion for advancing educational practices makes her highly deserving of this leadership award. She embodies the qualities of an exemplary teacher leader and serves as an inspiration to us all.
Mr. Steve Garska will now come up. He's our high school principal, and he will introduce the next 2 recipients. Nope.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm excited to be here to talk about 2 Kims. We have 2 recipients named Kim from the high school tonight. First, I'm going to speak about Kim Kelly. Miss Kim Kelly is a teacher in our English department. She oversees our NHS, National Honor Society. She leads that group with a confidence and really exudes the 4 pillars of that group, which are quite amazing, and the way that she handles herself and those students is absolutely top-notch. I'm going to read an excerpt from the submission for her when she was nominated. Miss Melissa Bowerly wrote this. She said, "Kim has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to fostering positive change by engaging her National Honor Society students in meaningful service projects to support the Breathing Room Foundation. Through her guidance and mentorship, students have been empowered to channel their energy and talents towards making a tangible difference in the lives of those facing adversity due to illness. One of Kim's greatest strengths lies in her ability to inspire and mobilize others. She has successfully organized a range of fundraising events and awareness campaigns, leveraging her creativity and resourcefulness to maximize impact. Whether through the blood drive, volunteer opportunities, or partnerships in and out of our school community, Kim has consistently gone above and beyond to raise funds and awareness for the Breathing Room Foundation's vital work. Furthermore, Kim has cultivated a culture of compassion and service within her National Honor Society, instilling in students a deep sense of empathy and responsibility towards their community. Her efforts extend beyond mere fundraising initiatives as she actively encourages students to develop meaningful connections with the foundation and its beneficiaries through volunteer work and ongoing engagement." Ms. Kelly's work exemplifies what Neshaminy School District is looking for community partnerships. Please join me in congratulating her tonight. All right, next up is Mrs. Kimberly Montone. Ms. Montone is well known throughout Neshaminy School District as the founder of the Neshaminy Mini-Thon chapter. Ms. Montone doesn't just affect and spread the spirit of Neshaminy throughout Neshaminy High School, but it extends down through Mini-Thon to the middle schools and the elementary school. So when her name came up for the Spirit of Neshaminy Award, it was a very easy sell for me to convince everyone that she should be the recipient tonight. Again, I'm going to read an excerpt. Mrs. Kate Fleming wrote this in her nomination for Ms. Montone. In addition to her leadership outside of the classroom, Kimmy has acted as an innovator and mentor in her classroom. Currently, she is in her first year of teaching Neshaminy's ELD courses. These classes consist of students who are on various levels of English language acquisition. Some students are brand new to the country, while others have been here for years. I mention the varying levels of these students because it speaks to how much Kimmy is driven to meet the individual needs of each of her students. She also seeks to find ways to help these students find ways to connect to the Neshaminy community as a whole by encouraging them to join activities like gym night, prom, the junior class trip, among other events. These activities are what allow students to have buy-in to the community and help them feel valued, seen, and welcome. Her desire to connect and include these students is just another example of how Kimmy's ultimate goal is not just to help students be the best they can be, but to also help them come to love Neshaminy in the same way she does. Ms. Montone came to me earlier in the year, and we talked about needing to get more of those students involved in our different programs. And one of her big goals for next year is to get them going and get them involved in gym night. So this really speaks to the spirit of Neshaminy. Ms. Montone has become the voice of Neshaminy as a gym night announcer and announcing names at graduation. So we're looking forward to continuing those traditions. Ladies and gentlemen, Kim Montone.
So our final recipient tonight could not be with us. He's from Vertibar Elementary. He is our PE teacher, Brian Ferris Kelly. Brian's actually at a Vertibar event, so he apologizes for not being here, and we will actually go out to Vertibar this week to celebrate Brian. But Brian was not only our PE teacher, he's also our K-12 lead teacher for PE. And he was nominated for Innovation Award, and that's specific to a number of items, but to summarize those, specifically to bringing the Ninja Warrior courses to all of our elementary schools. In addition to increasing and improving that each year, this year he brought in the warp wall. He also brought in the wrecking ball. So he continues to present not only in our district, he presents at the county level and at the state level as well. So we're excited to announce Brian Kelly's award this evening too. So thank you.
But they're going to leave before we even tell them they can leave. So it's all good. Well, congratulations again. It's always a great opportunity to acknowledge some of our tremendous teaching staff we have here, and these three go above and beyond, and we probably have several hundred more that are deserving of awards as well. But congratulations to the three of you, and thank you for being here.
That brings us to the first public comment period. Mrs. Burns?
Jeanette McVeigh.
Just
I
your
think I
name,
got it.
your,
Yep.
where you reside, and your
Got it.
occupation.
Hi, my name is Jeanette McVeigh. I live in Snowball Gate, and I'm a systems administrator. On the agenda tonight is a reading about a new policy for advertisement at Neshaminy, agenda item 8.01. Just want to talk a little bit about how that might affect the football program. My son plays football here at Neshaminy, and I'm on the N Club, which is the boosters organization that supports the team. I want to share with you some of the things that the Booster Club does with the fundraising that we do and with the countless volunteers that help us get it done. Throughout the year, we purchase equipment as requested. We purchase pride wear for each team member. Last year, we purchased practice jerseys for the team as well. We provide pizza and drinks for all the home games, snacks and drinks for the away games. We also support the Bucks County Challenger program. If you're not familiar with that, ask me later because I'm going to run out of time. But we give each participant soft pretzels and water, and we volunteer our time to give that out during that program. We also fund the annual football banquet, and every kid that goes gets something. If you're a sophomore, you get a personalized backpack. If you're a junior, you get your Letterman's jacket. And seniors get a personalized jersey with their name and number, all to remember their football days at Neshaminy. And that's at no cost to the school district or the taxpayers because we do it through fundraising. And my first role last year when I joined the N Club was to help with create the program that we get ads for from the community. The community has a big sense of pride in our football program, and they most generously take advertisements in that program. That support we get from the community is felt by the boys, and it's immeasurable. When people enter that stadium, as they have for decades, those Friday nights are electric. No one can deny that feeling. And having those banners hung from our community that show the pride for the entire game is also immeasurable. The football program, along with our other sports programs, they're pillars of community pride, and most importantly, Neshaminy pride. Now, I've been involved in a few organizations, volunteer organizations over the years, and the sense of pride in this group is something that I really haven't come across before, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. And our boys just don't play football here at Neshaminy. They're a large part of our community as well. Many of their family members played there. They're growing up here. They're working at local businesses. Those businesses support the program. They volunteer their time. I think a lot of you might have seen some posts about them putting flags at the cemetery this weekend. That was on their Saturday morning. It's not easy getting them out of bed, but they did it anyway. And they also volunteer their own time on Sundays with that Bucks County Challenger program. I understand the need for policy. I totally get that. But I'm hoping when you put this policy together, that it's not just for the school district, but it's also to consider the fundraising opportunities that we might lose out on as a booster organization to help support this program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rich Escher.
Okay, there you go. My name is Rich Asher. I'm a painting contractor. I own my own company. I'm actually the president of the Neshaminy N Club. Coach came to me about 3 years ago. There was somebody stepping down, and he said, "Rich, I'd love for you to help me out here." I had coached with Coach Wilmont at the baseball for Neshaminy, and I was the president of Neshaminy baseball for about 4 years. So he felt, oh, I'll be able to run right into this. Never had to really deal with any rules when I was in Neshaminy because there wasn't anybody to answer to. So last year when I was told, you guys can't do banners. I'm like, what do you mean we can't do banners? They've always done banners. So we had some meetings, and we were permitted to put them back up and then take them back down. And now this rule is coming about where I understand you have a digital scoreboard, but the difference between selling an ad on a digital scoreboard versus selling the ads to the people who have been buying banners is a pretty large number. And I feel that most of the people who we've sold the banners to in the past will just gladly repurchase the banner, and or they actually get a break if they pay for the banner again. They don't have to pay to buy a new banner. So I think in the long run, the scoreboard can be sold amongst other people as well, with all the other sports as well as football. But I think the banners for us are the mainstay. I mean, we made roughly about $12,000 last year, which our jackets for our juniors cost a lot of money. And with this new class that's coming, my son will be a senior this year. So the class behind us, we had about 65, 70 kids on the freshman team. Now that's slowly dwindling down. But when I'm doing the math on jackets at about $350 a pop, I'm losing a little sleep trying to figure out how I'm going to pay for those through the N Club, because we really don't want parents to have to pay anything. That's why the N Club is in place, to save the district money and to not have the parents pay for anything that they shouldn't have to pay for. We hear a lot of times that, oh, football gets everything, but they don't. Like, we're giving them everything. We're giving them whatever the kids get from the football program, 80% of it, 90% of it probably, is from the Boosters Club. So I'm just asking that you guys please consider leaving the banners up. I don't know if you've ever seen the banners. I mean, it's not like our kids are making them in their garage. I mean, these are all professionally done banners. And as much as I think it's crazy that we have to remove them, because I've been to college games where the banners are up all year round, we'll gladly still take them down if that need be. But please let us continue doing banners. Thank you.
Nicole Long?
Oh, I did it correctly. Hi, I signed up on a sheet that I didn't know was about speaking, so I'm, but no, I don't mind, I don't mind speaking. I'm also here on behalf of the Neshaminy High School football boosters. I'm also a mom of a class president. I'm a gym night captain mom. Like, my kids do a lot of fundraising for all different activities at the school. We hang bangers at gym night. We do t-shirts to collect money for junior class trip, for homecoming t-shirts. We advertise everywhere, and the kids are the ones that are going out and getting these advertisements. So we just want to come here today to hopefully be able to hang these banners, because again, it's something that goes directly to our kids. So thank you.
Thank you. Tell Ben I said hello.
Stephen Link?
There we go. I did it right also. Superintendent Bowman, Board President Sullivan, and board members. My name is Stephen Lake. I'm the president of the Langhorne Middletown Fire Company, Station 2122. I want to thank you guys and the Neshaminy School Board for providing the Neshaminy Firefighter Police and Fire Police Tax rebate program to the Langhorne Middletown Fire Company and the rest of volunteer firefighters. As I mentioned, probably about a year ago, during the board meeting when this program was introduced and approved, the volunteer service, fire service, is in desperate need of members. The Neshaminy School Board has recognized this, and through this program has given your volunteer fire service members a financial show of appreciation. Our members are greatly appreciative of this program and will continue to provide the Neshaminy School District with the fire service that has been provided in the past. I would like to take this opportunity to inform the school board and the general public that your 24/7 fire and emergency services are provided by volunteers. You hear me say that a lot tonight. While many of us have grown up in firefighting households, others have joined as a father and son activity, like I have. In order to become qualified to enter a burning house, each person must complete over 200 hours of coursework, practical evaluations, and exams, in addition to specialized training that each fire company does. This is a tremendous amount of extra work that must be completed for us to volunteer, and this is why your tax rebate is welcomed and appreciated. If I may ask 2 requests from this board. Number 1, the first would be for a concentrated effort to help us find a way to recruit high school students, teachers, faculty, anybody to help join the fire service and serve their community. The second would be based on the initial response. I understand that this tax rebate program may be expanded to include administrative officers and contributing members. These members are just as important as firefighters and fire police. They help us run our company. It's a second company that we all are running. As always, I'm willing to assist you and your board in any way that I possibly can. And again, I want to thank you for recognizing those who volunteer to protect our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Link. We are very, very fortunate in the Neshaminy community, the Middletown Township, down in Lower Southampton Township, to have tremendous emergency services available to us. So thank you for everything you do for us. And just a quick shout out to the N Club. You guys do a tremendous job. N Club, as you've said, has been around a long time. I graduated 30-some years ago, and it was a very, very strong organization that supported the football program that I played in, big part of my life. So thank you very much to the N Club. Thank you for everything you do. I'm sure we will be able to figure something out with everybody.
All right, that brings us to routine matters. I'd like to make a master motion to approve item 2.01 minutes, 2.02 treasurer's report, 2.03 check register and procurement card purchases, 2.04 budget transfers, 2.05 bids, 2.06 investments, 2.07 exonerations. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Hollenbeck. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. Item 3, Personnel Administrative. 3.01, Appointments. Resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby approves the following appointments of administrative staff. And there's 2 names on the list. One is Elizabeth Kraus, and the other one is Sharon Russell. Cruz. Elizabeth Cruz. I apologize. I have a motion on the floor. Can we have a second? Second by Mr. Rodriguez. Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. 3.02. What's that? Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, sorry. I confused myself because I wasn't going to do a master motion. 3.02, Revised Leaves of Absence. Resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby approves the following revised leaves of absence of administrative staff. Mr. Colin Trickell at the high school. There's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mrs. Brochus. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. Personnel certificated, Mrs. Hollenbeck.
Good evening. I'd like to make a master motion for personnel certificated, 4.01 appointments, 4.02 retirements, resignations, end of assignments, 4.03 leaves of absence, 4.04 revised leaves of absence, 4.05 summer stock appointments, and 4.06 ancillary appointments. I'd also like to note in the 4.02 section, I'd like to thank Michaela Gerner. I apologize. Carol Gallagher with 18 years, as well as Helen Kirsch with 40 years. 40 years with Neshaminy. I thank you for your service.
Thank you, Mrs. Hollenbeck. There's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Allen. Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. Item 5, Personnel, Mrs. Brochus.
Sure. I'd like to make a master motion to approve 5.01 appointments, 5.02 retirements, resignations, end of assignments, 5.04 revised leaves of absence, 5.05 ancillary appointments, and 5.06 ancillary resignations,
Missed 5.03.
and 5.03. My apologies.
Motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mrs. Walbeezer. Yeah. I'd like to note that there's a retirement of Kathleen Gabaluko with 24.4 years of service. Thank you for your service. We have a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. 6.01, Mrs. Marshall?
I'd like to make a master motion for 6 business operations, 6.01 annual appointments for 2024 to 25 through 6.16 Sunday facility usage. Also 6.19 through 6.22. Yeah.
Got it. So motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Sporny. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. And that brings us to 6.17. Ms. Walbeezer?
I'd like to make a motion, 6.17 Public School Facility Improvement Grant. Resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby approves the attached Public School Facility Improvement Grant Resolution. And there's a file attachment.
There's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Hollenbeck. Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. Mr. Sporny?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion, 6.18 Keystone Communities Program Grant. Resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby approves the attached Keystone Communities Program Grant Resolution with one attachment.
Thank you, Mr. Sporny. There's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Rodriguez. Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. 6.23 Bucks County Technical High School budget. Mr. Allen.
I'd like to place a motion on the floor for 6.23, the Bucks County Technical High School budget for 2024 through 2025. Whereas in order to provide technical high school education for our students, 6 Lower Bucks County school districts cooperatively established the Bucks County Technical High School. And whereas each participating school district must annually vote on the technical high school's annual budget, now therefore be it resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby approves the 2024 through 2025 Bucks County Technical High School budget in the total amount of $33,579,138, the operating budget of $32,205,876, with the Neshaminy School District 2024 through 2025 net fiscal payment to be $5,334,056.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. There's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mrs. Brochus. Mrs. Burns, this is a roll call vote.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Brochus?
Yes.
Mrs. Hallenbeck?
Yes.
Mrs. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mrs. Marshall?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Sporny?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
And Mrs. Wolbeiser?
Yes.
9 yes.
Motion passes 9-0. Educational Development, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I'd like to make a master motion for 7.01 student settlement agreements and 7.02 out-of-district placements.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. There's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mrs. Marshall. Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. Policy, Mrs. Lafferty.
I'd like to make a motion, 8.01, first reading of policy, whereas the Board Policy Committee reviewed the policies listed below at the May 16, 2024 committee meeting, and whereas the board policies listed below are being recommended for policy first reading, now therefore be it resolved that Neshaminy School Board of Directors reviewed the policies listed below and recommend a second reading and final adoption at the June 4th, 2024 public board meeting. And it's the new advertising.
Thank you, Mrs. Lafferty. It's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Rodriguez. Comments or questions?
Just to be clear, there is time, I don't know what exactly it says in regards to the banners and situations, but there's time to work any of that out if we so.
Yeah, we just had the meeting, and Carlos, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't recall us actually removing anything. Signs and banners are in there, so we can get the details of that at the when we were at the committee meeting. So, yeah, absolutely.
When's the next policy committee meeting?
I believe actually for this, we met last week, and I think there's 4 throughout the year. I think the next is actually mid-October, so it's, I don't think we have one necessarily in the next month or so.
Yeah.
And we can table it?
Well, I mean, the first reading's not gonna.
Doesn't matter.
This is just the first reading.
It's not an action, just,
So that way
Yeah.
it can be talked about, because football season will be starting before the next policy committee?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Was there a motion? Do we say a second? Yeah, we got a second. Yeah, we got a second. Carlos was second, okay. Any comments or questions?
Other than we're agreeing to the first.
Just the first reading, yeah, which is
There's plenty of time
plenty of time,
to make adjustments
Yeah,
as
yeah.
needed.
yeah, just to move the process along to get to another process, so.
I think,
If I may, Mr. Sullivan.
in here it says, and recommend a second reading and final adoption on June 4th.
You'll pass a specific motion on that night that you don't have to pass if you
Understood. I'm just-
That could be tabled that night, so that'll, yeah.
What we're doing or not
Yeah.
doing. Yep.
I would like to say, though, when we do have this committee meeting, that everyone that came tonight should attend that, because that's really where everything is talked about. And it would be nice to have you there.
It hasn't been set yet, because it'll be sometime in September, or October, okay. All right, that brings us to the closing of the meeting. We didn't vote on it, okay. So, all right, there's a motion on the floor. I'm really off my game. I'm just gonna leave. All right, we have a motion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. Phew. All right, that brings us to the closing of the meeting. Other board business? Second public comment period. Anyone else have anything to say? Okay, any board comment?
I have a quick board comment. I would just like to, again, congratulate the teachers that were nominated with their awards tonight. And I would also like to welcome the new members, Elizabeth Cruz, Sharon Russell, and everybody else that we hired. There's too many names to list, but I'd like to just say thank you and welcome. And that little boy was so cute.
I have a quick. I just wanted to, yet again, thank the board for your support of the Bucks County Technical High School. I've expressed myself often at these meetings how integral I feel that school is to our community and how much good work they do in the trades and professional services. And I just want to thank the board again. Look, 5 million plus on the table, that's not a small chunk. And, you know, if we were to keep that internally, we could find uses for it. So, you know, it's not a given deal that we're going to just support that, come up with that 5 million every year. So the fact that we have, and that indicates our continued support of the programs over there, and I just wanted to thank the board for that. And also, the teachers, fantastic. Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to do that. You know, it's been kind of spotty through COVID. We weren't always able to gather and celebrate our teachers, and it's good to see that again. And other than that, welcome to spring and all it brings to the school. I know that seniors are getting senioritis, and all I can say to them is hang in there, push through. It'll just a couple weeks left, and you'll get there. And I should say that to the teachers too. You'll get there. So that's it. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, John. As far as future meetings, there's a Business Operations Committee meeting in this room tomorrow night, and the next board meeting is on June 4th. With that, I'd like to make a motion. Make a motion to extend the meeting for another hour. All in favor? All right. Meeting's adjourned.